Hey guys, welcome back to my another video on Python programming. And in this video we are going to learn about some of the other keywords in Python. So today we will be looking at the following four things. First is how we can use break keyword, then continue, then else, but this time we will be looking how we can use it with for loop, which is a new concept in Python. And finally we will be looking at the keyword pass. So let's get started, and let me quickly open my Visual Studio Code. And here I have a new program created, that is Python video 5, and in this we will be creating or writing some new code related to these four keywords. So let me first quickly start with break. So what is the purpose of break? So purpose, it brings a control at the end of the loop, or we can say at the next statement, at the beginning of the next statement, just after the loop. So it can be used with while, or it can be used with for. Okay, so let's start, and let me quickly write a prompt for let me take a list, and let's suppose that I have this list, and what I want to do is, as soon as I encounter 3 in this list, I should stop the execution of this program further. So let me write for I in L, and then if I modulo 3, not modulo 3, I equals to 3, and then break else, break, then else what I want to do is I want to just print the number which I am getting. So let me quickly print this, and here you can see that it first executed the loop for 1, then 2, and finally it encountered 3, and the break statement was executed, and this loop ended up here on line number 10. So let me quickly print one more statement here. Hey I am now at line 10. So let's see. So here you can see that it first printed 1, then 2, and finally it came out. And what I said is, it will just come out of the, it will bring the control at the beginning of the next statement just after the for loop. So here we can see print is the next statement, and it has brought it here, and from here the further execution of the code will take place. So this is how we can use break statement in Python. Now let's quickly move to continue. So continue, it brings, what it does is, it brings the control back to the starting of the loop and stops further execution of statements inside the block. So what it does is, and same it can be used with while or for. So what it does is, let me quickly take one more list, and this time what I want is, whenever it encounters 4, it should not print the number, and for others it should print the number. So how can I do that? Let me quickly run this loop, and this time let me take it as L1, though it will work, but let me take L1 here, and I would say that if I is equals to 4, then continue continue else print I. So this time what it will do is it will first execute this loop for I for 1 I equals to 1, and at this time this condition will not be executed, so it will just print else. It will just go to else and then it will print that number. Then again it executes the same for 2, 3, and finally when it encounters 4, what it will do is it will get inside this loop if I is equals to 4, and here you can see that continue is written. So what it will do is it will pass back the control to the starting of for loop. So from here, from here it will go to the start of line 15, and again this loop will start executing from here with a new value of I, that will be 5. So let me quickly execute this program and show you the output. So if I run this program, this is the output of the previous code for, and this is our new new code which we have written for continue part. So here you can see that it printed 1, then it printed 2, then 3, and when it encountered 4, instead of what you can say continuing or executing the code, it just went to the beginning of line number 15, and then it started executing the same loop, and it went to executing this for loop for 5, and again it printed 5. So this is how we can use continue statement in our Python code. Let's move quickly to for with else. So the purpose of this is that if our code executes without encountering break, else part will be executed. So what do we mean by here? Let me write a program here. Let's say L is again 3, 4, 7, 8, 8, and what I will do is for I in L, and this time let me print L3, and this should be L3, and if I equals to let's say I assume it, let me compare it with 9 and write the same program, and else print I, not even I, let me leave this I because that will create a little bit confusion. So let me say else, and in else part what I want to do is no break was encountered. So here what this program will do is it will go through the elements of L3, and if it encounters or it sees I is equals to 9, then it breaks this loop for loop, and this else part will not be executed because we have encountered a break. But in this case, as we can see that 9 is not there in the list L3, and therefore this for loop never encounters a break, and therefore this else part will not be executed. so let me quickly run this program, and here you can see that it is saying hey, no break was encountered because in our this L3 list there is no 9, and therefore this condition was never satisfied, and therefore break was never executed, and therefore this else part was printed on the screen. So if I will change this number to 8, now see what will happen is it will run for 1, then it will run for 2, then similarly for 3, 4, 7, and when it runs for 8, then what happens is it encounters a break, and we have said that else part is executed only when there is no break encountered within the for loop. But here we see that uh, I is equals to 8, this condition has been met at the last element, and therefore this for loop got broken up because of this condition, and therefore else part will be left. So this is how we can use for with else in Python, and it is a very it can be very helpful in some cases where we have such scenarios. So this is how we use for with else in Python. And finally, let's move to pass. So this is basically a placeholder where a programmer wants to leave the basically this is basically a placeholder where programmer wants to leave or wants basically a placeholder for future code, we can say. So what does that mean? Let's suppose we write if or I can say a is equals to 10, and then I will say if a equals to 10, then print a. And now what I want is else, and here I don't want to print the value of a, but instead what I want is I don't know what should be done in this case. So what I will do is I will just say, hey, I don't know what code we want to execute if a is not equal to 10. So what I will do is I will just write a pass here and and we'll leave it so that this place is left empty, so that programmer can decide later what to do. So here what I will do is I will just quickly run this program, and you can see, and let me write it, this part is pass part. So let us quickly run this program, and here you can see that we are saying this part is pass part, means we have written code for pass here, and here you will see that we have assumed or assigned a value 10 to a, and here the condition has been met, so it has printed a. But let's see what happens if you put a is equals to 11, and now here you can see that nothing was printed, because when it went to else part we have passed here that you should just there is no code to be executed as of now. So this has just passed this 38 line and nothing was printed. Now let's say after a few days the programmer comes back and he wants to do something like he wants to print a, and he decides that he will print this message, hey, a is equals to whatever its value is. A. So this is just a basic program where programmer has decided that he wants to print this message, and he changes this in future. So this is how we can use a pass statement in Python, and what it is used for. This is basically a placeholder for the future code. So I hope you would have enjoyed this short video on the 4 new keywords which we have learned. So thank you all, and if you have any questions you can comment on my video. I will be happy to answer your questions. Thank you.